Can you just tell us first of all a little bit about the new recruit in Joe Shorrocks?
Yeah, well, he had his first run with us today. We just thought we needed to. We still had some room left in the cap, and we needed just to bolster our depth a little bit. We're hoping to get a couple of blokes back this week, but we're still looking at another week or two. So it was important just to. We're only one injury, in the forwards away from having no one really to put there, and I think with some of the games they got coming up, it'd be unfair to put some of those kids out there straight away. I'd like to ease them in other ways than, in these big games at the moment.
I mean, Joe's, I think, ostensibly played as a 13 for Salford. He's played everywhere, I think, pretty much. Where do you see him positionally?
Oh, look, I think somewhere in the middle. I think he's one of those guys. He just competes hard. He can play a number of roles. It just depends on what's needed and when it's needed. But he's come here looking for an opportunity, and again, when you start to get a few troops back, it just builds that healthy competition for spots and keeps everyone trying to play their best, train their best.
He's straight in the 21. He's not played for a fair few weeks. I think the last time he played was against you guys. Have you got any reservations about putting him straight in on Thursday?
No, I'm not. I won't be playing him this week, mate. Yeah.
With a view to sort of getting some
just
training or game time elsewhere?
Yeah, he trained. Well, we've got no opportunity to get game time anywhere else at the moment, but he trained with us today, and then we've got a long turnaround into the next week's game, so we'll just see, how we go through on Thursday.
Does it help in a way that when he comes into a side at this point in time that he knows people, that he's got people like Callum and Chris Hankinson?
Yeah, that helps, and he's got a good, wealth of experience behind him. So, there's not a lot there. I'll just be learning some different names of the plays that we run. Everyone runs similar sort of stuff. So, mate, he slotted in pretty easy and comfortable today.
Just on new faces, I think the transfer deadline is next week. Would you expect any other newbies to come in at all before then?
Oh, I doubt it. But you never say no, dude. You just never know when opportunities present. But at the moment, I wouldn't think so.
Big Mix back in the 21. Has he got potential to feature?
Oh, look, probably not. He's borderline, so we might be better off to just push it out another week.
And with the injury, I guess, that he's not been off feet, has he? Does he come back fitter, stronger when he does come back?
He's done plenty of training. So, physically, I don't think Mick's ever one of those guys that will lose too much. We just need to make sure that he's in a good headspace and he's comfortable. It was a pretty serious injury, so we just, thinking that extra week it'll be the best thing for him.
What about the potential scope for changes for Thursday?
No, we don't really have any. Well, we don't have any change. Going with the same 17, mate. Those guys done a good job, and we don't really have anyone coming back anyway. So it's just what we've got.
How do you assess the challenge on Thursday then?
Exciting. We know how good they are, but we need to focus on us and being reliable from week to week. Our last two performances, we've done a lot of good things, more good things than we've got wrong, and we need to continue to build. We're nice and professional last week, and we had to come from behind win the week before. So we've shown and we've learnt different ways to win right throughout the season. Sometimes you're not always at your best, but you can find that way to win. So, it's more about that, just making sure that we know exactly what our game looks like and how we want to play, and we're learning more about us as we go. But we're going to, have a tough game come Thursday. It's at home. We only got 2 more games left here. They pipped us in the last couple of minutes last time we played them at home. So, we're looking to make sure we put our best foot forward.
You did have that good win at Hull KR last month. What do you take from that you can maybe use on Thursday?
Well, fair bit of confidence, especially going out there and playing. them on their own turf. But just the way we controlled the second half, I think we only had the one error in the second half. We still played good football in terms of with our ball movement, but we just got our execution right, and we're able to play better field position against them because they're really good at strangling you around field position. And the way we controlled that 40 minutes, we're able to put 14 points on and keep them to nil against us in that second half, and it was purely just because of how we done a better job of controlling field position.
And just lastly for me, the Jared Warrior-Hargreaves is suspended, isn't he? Does his absence change the context of the contest at all?
Oh, look, he's a good player. Then they'd probably rather have him in there, but I think both teams have got enough depth to cover some injuries as you get through the season, and like they've had plenty of injuries as well, and they managed to keep fronting up each week. Those guys that come in just to get the job done. So I don't think it'll change how they play or what they need.
Is hooker a bit of a dilemma for you this week? Obviously, Andy Ackers came in on Saturday and did a good job with Jared dropping to the bench, but Jared's been strong for most of the season.
Yes. Oh, look, it's creates good, healthy competition, doesn't it? Like you give Ackers an opportunity, and you've seen how important it was to him, and he obviously, he come out and played really well because he knows Jared's been playing well, and that's what you need in the team. You need everyone pushing each other for spots and being competitive. Jared will go back to the starting lineup this week because that was more around providing Ackers some minutes and an opportunity. Jared had done nothing wrong not to start, so it's only fair that he goes back into the starting team. And like the good thing about it is they both know that they're jostling for that starting spot, and they're going to play well. Because if they don't, the other guy gets a nod. So that's great. That's good for our team.
It's obviously been tough for Ackers, hasn't it, since he got that injury way back in, I think it was March or April. Has he handled it pretty well professionally?
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's had to go back and play reserve grade, and it's a fair kick in the teeth for a bloke of his stature. But it's just, often I say to the players, it's out of their control around team selection. The only thing that is in their control is their response to it and what they do about it. And he's gone about it the right way and got himself an opportunity.
Riley Lum's been out of the picture for a while in the first team. Do you envisage maybe us seeing him again at senior level this season?
Yeah, yep. He could get another opportunity. I thought Chris done a really good job for us on the weekend. After his first game, he was, he had got a couple of things wrong, but I thought he tried really hard against Lee, and then in terms of his execution, his role the other day against Castleford, he was really good. So again, what it does, Pete, is you just everyone wants to play well because they know if they don't, well, there's a chance of someone else taking their spot, and that's how you win games of footy. You need all 17 blokes contributing and playing at their best.
And obviously, you'll have seen Hull Chaos game last week, which was obviously there was a big build up to it, and it was quite an intense physical battle. Do you think that'll have a bearing on them this week? It's sometimes hard to stay up at that level consistently, isn't it?
Oh, it's hard, but that's why they're at the top, because they do it every week. So we're preparing for no different to the last two times we've played them. It's a big game for them. It's a big game for us, and both teams are going to go at it, mate.
Will young Presley start again then? Just reading between the lines of what you said earlier.
Yeah, mate, we're going with the same team.
Yeah. So you've got full confidence in him going up against a pretty aggressive Hull Chaos starting pack?
Yep. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting him there. And like the good thing about it is I thought Keenan done a good job of leading from front the other day, and both our back rowers were nice and physical. So the rest of the forwards really stepped up to make his transition into that role as not as easy, but as comfortable as possible. And we go another level again this week, but sometimes you don't know until you actually put him out there, and it's a good opportunity for Prez, and he's certainly not backwards in coming forward. So he'll get a couple of things wrong, but he'll keep going at it.
Yeah, you expect him to rise to that challenge then, from everything that you've seen of him so far?
Yeah, no, he's looking forward to it. Nothing seems to faze him. He showed that on the weekend, but like I said, it's another level again, and there'll be some things that we all want to improve after this weekend. But that's The only way they get experience is by giving them the experience. I can talk to him about how he needs to start and do this and that, but the only way he's going to learn is by doing it.
No, definitely. And Hull are obviously top of the table. Do you think that's a fair reflection? Are they the best team in the competition from what you've seen?
Yep. They've earned the right to be there. I think that they would understand that there's quite a few teams around them at the moment that are chasing pretty hard, and I think that like there's 5, 6, 7 teams at the moment that on their day, and they've all showed that they if they get there at the end of the year, that anyone's good enough to win it. And obviously, Hull KR is the team that everyone's chasing, but I think there's 5 or 6 other teams that would like to think they're a chance.
I know you said previously that you're not quite at the level of the top 2 yet. You are getting closer in terms of points. Do you feel like that again? That's a reflection of where you are, and you are actually getting close to them.
Yeah, look, I think we're on the improve. It's we just got to make sure we keep doing that each week and just keep trying to find those fixes each week. Like we had a soft try last week against us, so it's just being able to find those areas and continually challenging the boys about how we can get better. But I'm liking the attitude that they're coming with, every week and presenting how they want to improve in those areas when we get something wrong. Like no one's putting their head in the sand and thinking that we're going too good for ourselves and getting ahead of themselves. They're really challenged about that try against us wasn't good enough. How do we fix it? What do we need to do?
I know we touched on at the weekend about a home final being part of the motivation. I think it's been 8 years since Headingley hosted a playoff game. Does it surprise you that it's been that long for a club at Leeds' size?
Yeah, that I didn't realise that. That certainly gives us extra motivation. I think the club and our fans and supporters and sponsors deserve a home final. So yeah, that's a long time.
Congratulations, by the way. I've not spoken to you since your announcement last week. It's great to see you staying. So, but just, obviously, hopefully you're going to be staying on a real high note as the season reaches its climax. And you've now, as James said, you've got a terrific chance of actually getting up, not just in the top 4, but in the top 2, where you're only 2 points behind Wigan. And with 5 games to go, that gap is bridgeable, I think. And of course you'd be exempt from the first week of the playoffs, and you'd have a home game then in the second week and win it, and you're at Old Trafford. So it must be a massive incentive to keep winning, mate, and to overhaul Wigan and get that privilege.
Yeah, you made that sound so easy. There's a lot of there's a lot of hard work to do between now and then, and it doesn't get any harder this week. And we've been really good on just focusing on us and how we get better, and not so much who we play but how we play. And if we continue to do that, well, just maybe we might give ourselves a chance to get to that end result. But yeah, look, there's a fair bit of work to be done yet, and I think there's lots of twists and turns left in this competition.
It's a lot easier writing about it than doing it. There's no question about that, mate. But
it's easier me talking about it too than the players actually doing it. So
yeah.
We've got the job, mate. They've got the tough job, the players.
Yeah, but if we were looking at form, form suggests you're certainly capable of doing it. Of course, you never know if it's going to work out. Just one other point, final point, really, from me. Will you have any lone players playing for Salford this Friday night?
Not this weekend. We don't know. But we're happy to help where we can, as long as it's in the best interest of our players. And we made a decision 2 weeks ago to give some players to Salford, and like Ben Littlewood actually benefited from it. We got to get 80 minutes out playing for Salford, and then on the weekend I was able to trust him, and he'd had a bit of work into him, game time, and he's got 50 minutes out for us. So it actually was really handy for him. So if we get in a position where they need the assistance, we'll certainly looking to do it, and we'll get something out of it for our players as well.
Will you have any lone players anywhere else this weekend?
No.
In the championship, so right.
Yeah, we've got Jack Smith.
At London.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he doing okay down there?
Yeah, he's good. He trains with us every week, trained today, and then he goes and plays, and he's enjoying it. And I think in fortnight's time we got our reserve grade, and I'm pretty sure our guys will qualify for the reserve grade grand final.